We'll go. Good morning and welcome to the Talking Sport podcast. Sorry, good afternoon and welcome to the Talking Sport podcast. It's gone past 12 now. I'm here with Josh and Jake as we break down both NXT TakeOver nights and WrestleMania. How are we, guys?
Good, thanks, mate. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad. Big Slow?
I'm fine, yeah. I'm just it's a bit tired at the moment. But yeah, I'm all right. I'll get there.
Still drinking all the Monster?
No, I'm on my last can now, so yeah. I'm not too bad though.
Fair enough, mate. Whatever gets you through. Okay. So yeah, busy week of wrestling. Seems weird now. Now it's all done. Seeing all the build up towards it. Start with the Hall of Fame. Jake, who's your favourite Hall of Fame inductee out of 2020 and 21?
It's got to be RVD for me. I think I've said it before. He's just such a cool guy, like very sort of like energetic in the ring over the years, and has used the phrase been around quite positively. He's got a lot of experience from a load of different places that he's been in, and even if you watch WrestleMania today, if you haven't had a chance over the last two nights, he had some funny promos with Riddle and the Great Khali as well. But yeah, selling his Rolly papers for whatever use they were going to be. But yeah, I think he deserves everything. He deserves a lot of credit for being in the Hall of Fame, of course. And as I said, I was on Facebook about an hour ago, just having a look through, and Impact were doing one of their previews for I think it was RVD versus AJ Styles when RVD won the TNA title, the Impact title, I think it is. Amazing match, but yeah, he's had a lot of amazing matches, and I'm glad that he's a deserved entrant into the Hall of Fame.
Right, you, Josh, who stood out for you, mate?
Seems a bit of a cop out, but same for me. I loved RVD going in. JBL's speech, I thought he was actually going to be a nice person for once. But then they obviously replayed it about 10 times over the weekend, showing that he's not. Where he was like, "If I've ever offended you, you're a snowflake." Yeah, that was very, very, very JBL. But yeah, I think RVD, really well deserving. Kane obviously doing his fire pyro, especially last night at Mania, looked pretty cool, and looked like the whole stadium basically set on fire. I love that Khali's so big, they could only get a ring that would fit his pinky. I know they fit them, to the superstar, but I've got a funny feeling they probably wouldn't have enough in the budget to get one that would go around his middle finger. So yeah, I think RVD must be well deserved. Kane, obviously, absolutely brilliant. Brilliant superstar, brilliant, one of the best characters ever in wrestling. The Bella Twins, I think, as well, for obviously what they've done for, the women's revolution. I know when they first came in, they were thought of, as just sort of Diva Search rejects, but I think over the years they've got better and better and better. And it was nice to see Bayley mention John Cena before getting an absolute shoe-in from them last night. But yeah, I think overall pretty good. Jushin Thunder Liger as well. I know he only ever had that. I think it was one match in NXT against Prince Pretty. What's his name? Not Tyler Bate. Tyler Breeze. But yeah, I think, overall pretty great class. I'm not overly bothered about people like Ozzy Osbourne and stuff like that. But yeah, certainly agree with Jake. RVD, well deserved, and nice to see him, selling his wares. But that's probably why Riddle lost, because he was distracted by RVD's rolling papers.
True. You missed the trick there as well, mate. When you were talking about the Bellas, you could have said they got Bella and Bella and Bella. That would have been the way to do it, I think. But yeah, no, it was good. It was the NWO for me. I love RVD, and I love all the other guys who got there. Very, very deserving. You think of the likes of Molly Holly as well, and a couple of others who went in who definitely had deserved. But it's all about the NWO for me. Obviously, a massive part of me enjoying wrestling growing up in that era, watching WCW and WWE. And yeah, I thought, this speech wasn't amazing, but I thought that them getting inducted, Shane Bischoff wasn't there as well with them, but obviously we know that he had his own ceremony the next day, so it didn't matter so much. But yeah, definitely a good ceremony to build on, and it was nice to see them both represented on both nights, obviously, of Mania too. Okay, let's move on to the action then from the Hall of Fame. Joshy, I'll come to you first, mate. NXT Night One. What was your standout match?
I'm trying to think. It was all so good as always. Some strange booking decisions, I think, with obviously Bronson Reed, when he's brilliant, but the build has consistently been Dexter Lumis, and for him not to be there, and obviously LA Knight as well. They're trying to build him up to be, this big force, and then for Bronson Reed to sort of go over. I think it's got to be, Gonzalez versus Shirai, just for sort of how historic it is. Sort of Gonzalez has, literally come from being Dakota Kai's, bodyguard, like similar to someone like Omos or, the legendary Dabba Kato, but we'll get to that later, to, be in the top of the NXT women's division. But I know exactly what you're going to say for your match of the night, and potentially match of TakeOver overall is going to be obviously Walter versus Ciampa.
You know me too well. What about you, Jakey? What's it like for you on the first night of TakeOver?
I can't pick one specific match. I think I did like all of it really. I was gutted that Lumis didn't bring home a title, but that's hopefully he'll get that good build up he needs, and hopefully he'll get that good push. But I think we'll have to see. Maybe it's a little bit later. Well, hopefully a little bit later down the line. But I think I agree with Josh. I think the Gonzalez match was really good. Both women going out for the win, and lucky for Shirai really. But we need a new champion, and it'll be interesting to see how her and Dakota Kai sort of get along in the next couple of weeks, because that's going to go haywire. So it'll be quite fun to see that. But I did also just a reference to the Adam Cole match as well in night 2. I thought it was a really good match, that one as well. And they just slugged it out for a good half an hour, and the ending was just amazing. Great for Kyle O'Reilly to get on the main event scene as well. But I think it was definitely a match that should have been for WrestleMania. I think that potentially, I think some of the NXT matches, some of the NXT main events should have been on WrestleMania Night 1 and 2, just to push them to the big time. But I think the way it was, and just to fill up the spaces, I thought it was 2 great nights overall anyway in NXT. So
yeah, obviously we'll get on tonight too, Jakey, as always. Too excited by it, but yeah, definitely for me it was Walter and Ciampa. When he chopped that announce table and splinters in his hand. I've not seen anything like that before, and I've not seen a bad match for Walter. I love Ciampa, and obviously he brought a lot to that match as well. But me and Josh seen him versus Tyler Bate, as we always say, at TakeOver Cardiff, and his match with Pete Dunne before that, and obviously brutal match with Dragunov last year on the NXT UK brand. He's just amazing in the ring to watch, and everything he does, similar to a bit like one of Josh's famous Sheamus, it just hurts. You can tell it hurts when he's hitting them, and just a fantastic match. And I thought, you know, it's definitely up there for match of the WrestleMania week. Never mind match of the night. But yeah, looking forward to seeing who challenges next now, where they go from there for Walter, whether he comes back to the UK or they have Imperium stay on NXT US for a bit longer. But yeah, night one for me, definitely. As good as I agree with you, I thought Gonzalez and Shirai were amazing, and it was brilliant to see Gonzalez with a gold. That was the match of the night for myself. Okay, Jakey, we'll go with you first then, mate, for night two. I have a feeling it's going to be there's something you've already talked about, but the second night, what was the best for you?
It was quite a lot. Nothing specific that I can choose. I mean, I thought maybe I'll just single this match out really, because a lot of people are going to be samey. I thought Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart retaining the tag team championships was against LeRae and Indy Hartwell was a great match. Again, a lot of tag team moves, a lot of sort of great spots and great moments, and especially Blackheart doing that dive, and amazing. And I just think that that's got to be one of the best matches of the night. I think this is a great sort of promotion for the women's tag team scene at the moment in Raw and SmackDown. It's a bit sort of up and down, especially with Jackson Bays that are currently hanging on to the Raw ones at the moment. It's a bit sort of strange, but yeah, I thought that was a great match. And obviously, I found on Twitter that Blackheart's father passed away recently, so that's a good win for her. But hopefully she can mourn the next. Maybe I don't know whether she's going to be on NXT this week, but hopefully they give her time to mourn and things like that. So quite important. But yeah, as I said, great promotion for the NXT women's division in general too. So yeah, props to WWE for that one.
Well, that's fair enough, mate. It was a good tag match with Indy and Candice. Joshy, how about yourself, mate? What's still there night two for you?
I think it's got to be either Balor and Cross, or as Jake's already alluded to, the brilliant match between Riley and Adam Cole. Is this going to be the swan song for Adam Cole and Balor in NXT potentially? I think maybe they could have given a little bit more time to Cross and Balor. Obviously, their match was only looking at it now, is about 17 minutes, whereas Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole had 40 minutes. So, for making it the main event, I think was the right decision, because obviously, how personal a feud it is. But, maybe take 5 minutes off that match, potentially give it to Cross and Balor. Are we going to see Balor on the main roster again? Probably. And hopefully he'll be booked as he has been booked in NXT and be a dominant force. But yeah, bit of a strange one for me. Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin. I think I would have put my house on Devlin winning that. After him coming back after the pandemic, and being the cruiserweight champion, and telling Escobar that he's not the real champion, because he's never beaten him and things like that. For Escobar to win, is a little bit of a shame for me, because I think Devlin obviously did really well in Takeover Dublin against Balor, who Balor actually trained Devlin, I believe, all those years ago. And I think he's probably now going to sort of drop back down just into another guy in NXT UK, which I think is a shame, after having such a broken up run with the title because of COVID. But yeah, definitely Karrion Kross, Finn Balor, and Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole for me. Matches of the night, matches of the week. Brutal, absolutely brutal matches. Balor's very much doing matches in the style of sort of Japanese wrestlers, and people like Kenny Omega. He's not having matches regularly, but when he is, he's going all out and he's just battering everyone. but obviously, you know, nice for Cross to still be undefeated. You know, solid, consistent booking, and then obviously O'Reilly and Adam Cole was just, you know, an emotional roller coaster, and to see that visual of O'Reilly turning around on the stage covered in cuts, bruises, seeing Adam Cole being put on that stretcher, you know, I think it's a fitting end to that chapter of NXT history, which has undoubtedly been ruled by the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I completely agree. It was a fantastic match between the pit. Hated Adam Cole's new entrance music. It did my head. I don't know why one of them couldn't keep the UE ring music, because it's just one of the best over the recent times. But yeah, they were great matches. I quite liked Escobar winning the title. I said it on Twitter when I was talking after watching the match. I think that Escobar is a future NXT champion. I think he's unbelievable in the ring. His presence out of the ring. You know, we always talk about how WWE promotes the Japanese stars. You know, the likes of Andrade when he was there as well. You know, as these guys who can't speak on a microphone and do the other stuff. And Escobar, he's not in that category. He's brilliant on the mic. So yeah, I thought a good move by them. But I, like yourself, I do hope that someone takes the NXT Cruiserweight title soon, so that he can move up to one of the bigger titles in NXT. I'll go against you on this with Josh as well. With it, I love Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano. That was probably my, with O'Reilly and Adam Cole, that was probably my favorite match next to it on night 2. I loved it. I thought Gargano does what he always does, shows that he's Mr. Takeover. And I thought that's one of the best I've seen Bronson Reed in the ring, to be fair, up against him. But yeah, just a brilliant occasion as it is. You know, every time we've ever talked about a takeover, we've never come away to being disappointed. So is, you know, been brilliant, and the guys put the work in, and yeah, another great show. Just about the Cole thing, like you said, maybe him and Balor will come up. But apparently Triple H was on Facebook Live after the event saying that they're not going anywhere. So we'll have to see. So maybe we'll only see Shirai come up onto the main roster. But definitely interesting now to see what happens with all these superstars going forward, now that these feuds have come to an end at the Takeover Stand and Deliver. So yeah, very good from all the guys in NXT. So let's move on to WrestleMania then. Let's talk about night 1 first. Jakey, what was the match of night 1?
I don't. This is the part I hate, because I don't like singling out specific matches.
You have to. I told you.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't. I did like it all.
On the fence.
To be honest with you, I thought that. I know. I don't know. Like, I thought, honestly, right? I thought that it was better. Night 1 was better than night 2, in my opinion. Again, I'm not really sure why, but I just thought it was a lot better. But, right, okay. Just having a quick gander, I think, through my mind. I did like, you know, I thought that Lashley, and just to first off, just quickly, the Lashley and the McIntyre match was good. I didn't think it had enough time for me as maybe it should have. But yeah, I was excited for Drew. He didn't win in front of fans. The turmoil match was garbage. I think I think match of the night, I'm gonna go for Cesaro and Rollins. This was the main stage that Cesaro needed to be pushed in. And I think he's got, you know, they've been saying that he hasn't won for the last 6 WrestleManias. who hasn't been in the last 6 WrestleManias, but whichever, this is the big one he needed to win. And I'm hoping that this will get his career off to, the start after this that he needs to. I don't want to see him. I want to see him going for titles. I'd like to see a feud where he feuds with Bobby Lashley. I think that would be great. Or maybe the US title. I think that would be a great start for him as well. But yeah, I think the match was brilliant as well. It was both men superb. Rollins was superb as well. I love the swing. The swings at the 23 now we are. So a fantastic match overall. Yeah, a great win for Cesaro, and hopefully this will be the kick that he needs to get back to the big time.
No worries. So there we go. Jakey wants Cesaro to make the trip to Monday Night Raw to fight for some titles. What about you, Joshy? What was your favourite moment of Night One?
Yeah, definitely Rollins versus Cesaro. I think for quality was definitely the best matchup there. Similar to you with Adam Cole, I'm a little bit confused with Rollins' entrance music because it's got like the burn it down bits, but then there's different bits. But I did like his Barack Obama inspired ring gear with the face on it, which was nice. But yeah, Cesaro Rollins, brilliant match. I think the Shane McMahon Braun Strowman match surprised us a little bit. I think no one was expecting that to be great, and it wasn't great by any standard. But Shane doing the coast to coast at his age, that bump off the top of the steel cage. Shane gets a lot of flack for having really bad punches and going purple during all the matches, but not many people put themselves through spots like that. So sort of props to Shane McMahon. Unlike Jake, I preferred Night 2 personally. I thought Night 2, was a little better. I think it had a few more, shocks, twists, turns. No particular surprises when it came to debuts and things like that, apart from one, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit. But I don't think we can really talk about Night 1 of Mania without talking about Banks versus Belair. Personally, I'd rathered Bobby versus Drew main event, just because I think the build has been a little better. Then I think when we look at the quality of the two matches, I think the women's match was by far the higher in quality, and also I think ending with Belair winning the title, obviously Montez Ford coming down, it would have been a great feel-good moment, obviously, if Drew had won, but obviously with the booking decision for Lashley to win, I think it was the right decision to, have them go on first rather than last. But yeah, Banks playing, the heel Banks role in there, but, even after she lost, you can see her on the side, trying to, sell an injury, but she was smiling as well. I think she realizes how historic it is that, first singles match to headline a women's WrestleMania, two African American women as well. Historically, it's massive in the world of sport, and luckily the match lived up to the hype. But like I say, if obviously the booking decisions were slightly different with Drew winning, I'd rather have seen that go last. However, the way it worked out, I think great opener, hot opener, bit of a shock as well for the crowd to see Drew pass out. Be interesting to see where he goes next. But yeah, definitely Cesaro and Rollins was, for me, the best technical match of the night. And obviously feel-good moment with Belair winning the title. Let's just hope they don't turn a heel in about 2 weeks, as WWE are prone to doing.
No, I agree. It was obviously, I think we all agree, Cesaro Rollins was probably the match we enjoyed the most. Definitely had the crowd up on their feet, especially when he was doing the airplane spin with no hands. That was unbelievable. But can't believe you didn't mention that the Bad Bunny was your favorite match, Josh. That's the biggest shock.
No, not at all. Although he did do well. He's getting all his praise online. Fair play to him. However, The Miz, when he did the Hurricanrana, The Miz, you could see The Miz holding onto his legs. That was all The Miz. And when he did the Canadian Destroyer, fair play for doing a Canadian Destroyer, because it's not a WWE move, unless it's a Rey Mysterio versus Andrade match. But again, that was all down to John Morrison. And no one's really given Morrison or Miz props for, how well and how much they helped out Bad Bunny. But I suppose Bad Bunny's going to be the one that, is going to sell tickets, is going to go on SNL and, you know, big up Mania. So it makes sense on a business standpoint for WWE. And obviously, Damian Priest in his BDSM gear, you know, good show. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more of him in the match, and maybe get the pin, because, you know, that's going to help him out massively, rather than Bad Bunny, who, as we saw on night 2 of Mania, is gone after Triple H giving him a microphone. But yeah, you know, good celebrity match, but I think The Miz and Morrison need a few more plaudits for how well they helped him, rather than saying, oh my God, amazing Canadian Destroyer. Yeah, John Morrison does a flip whilst holding on to Bad Bunny. That's what it was, but, you know, sorry.
Josh, that was him. Yeah, but no, yeah, you're right. The feel-good moment was definitely at the end with Belair and Banks. And, you know, you could see the emotion in their eyes at the start of the match. And obviously you've seen that emotion at the end of the match. Just Bianca Belair is just unbelievable. You know, she just, the power, I know Banks isn't the biggest WWE superstar, but the power to have her on her shoulders, walking up the steps, chucking her in the ring and everything. And, you know, over the internet memes now of that hair whip that was sounded like a gunshot. And obviously Sasha's rib area showed how much, obviously how painful that obviously was. But yeah, it was definitely a feel-good moment with them two, with the main event, like you say, and very historical. So it was a good night. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as you, Josh, on what was the better night, but it was definitely great, and more importantly, just amazing to see fans at the arena. And I really don't know how I'm gonna manage watching Raw tonight without them. But yeah, it was a great first night in WrestleMania. We'll be right back.